Trump wins the US election and suggests he'll cut off aid to Ukraine. And how will this affect the situation in Taiwan? Well, the big US election was recently, and to say it was a bit of a shock and a bit sad for many people would be underwhelming. A lot of people across the nation are in mourning right now, and while I think that Kamala Harris did run a great campaign and that the short time was mainly one of the reasons why she lost, I do think that it should be noted that no matter your political stance, with Trump's win, several groups in America have been threatened, such as minorities, women, children who go to schools, and many more, and our first responsibility should be protecting these people. So, if you are in America and you are threatened by the new government, I really do hope for your best, and I hope that you can stick it through. But, stepping aside from all of that, there were actually some pretty interesting things that happened on Tuesday night, and pretty historic ones too, so let's get into them. First off, as you probably guessed, America elected its first convicted felon, which isn't too much of a shock, but what is a shock is that this is the second time in American history that a president has been elected once, lost an election, and then got re-elected. The last one to do that was Grover Cleveland. Although, really, being the second isn't really much of an achievement. I mean, who remembers the second guy to walk on the moon? I'll give you a few seconds. Anyways, as well as that, Trump won the popular vote, means that a majority of Americans voted for him, which is only the second time a Republican candidate has done this since George Bush in 2004, but that was mostly because everyone was rallying behind the leader after 9/11. Another thing is that it's interesting to note that Trump's amount of votes stayed pretty much the same from 2020. The main issue was that a lot of the Democrat voters just didn't show up, so that was mainly what happened. And during the worst Taco Tuesday ever, there were some other things that happened. For example, Lissa Blunt became the first black female senator to represent Delaware. Sarah McBride became the first trans person to sit in Congress. Angela Also Brooks was the first black female to serve Maryland. Andy Kim became the first Korean American senator. Among other things. Also, apparently a lot of Americans didn't know who they were voting for, because searches for "Did Biden drop out" went up exponentially this week, and most of them coming from this computer, among other searches like "Where's the closest ice cream shop?" But enough joking, let's go to something a bit more lighthearted, the war in Ukraine. Now, Trump has for a while been saying that he would cut off all aid to Ukraine immediately and leave them alone, but now he's backtracking on that, which is a position he's also backtracked on, it's confusing, to say that what he would do was immediately negotiate a peace between Ukraine and Russia, which sounds good until you realize that Trump has a very close relationship with Putin, so who knows how that deal will end up. But I don't think either Ukraine or Russia would accept that deal. Ukraine does not have all the land that it wants right now, and any deal right now would be to Russia's favor, and Russia does not control all of the provinces that it wants to control, so I don't think either Ukraine or Russia would agree to a deal made by Trump, no matter how hard he tried. But Trump said that if Ukraine accepted the deal and Russia didn't, then Trump would give Ukraine all the aid it could ever desire and flow in all the military aid. So who knows what will happen, but many people have been saying that there are only 3 more months to save Ukraine, and I would recommend to donate to Ukrainian charities because the next little while is going to be very difficult for a very large amount of people in Ukraine. But I want to briefly talk about the cut off aid to Ukraine, it's wasting taxpayers' money argument. If you are one of those people that say that Ukraine does not deserve all of the taxpayer dollars that it's getting, I want you to say that to someone grieving over one of their family members killed every day in the war, because every day the death toll rises, the civilian infrastructure, no matter what it is, keeps getting destroyed, and America is spending less money helping Ukraine, these people in need, than it did bailing out companies in the 2008 financial recession. So if you are one of those people advocating for aid to be cut to Ukraine, do your research and have a heart, please. Moving on to an even lighter subject, Taiwan and China. So, Trump has had, well, not as big of a relationship with this issue as he has other issues. The main reason being that a war doesn't seem likely to break out soon. Basically, Trump, only in like the last year or so, has said that he would cut off aid to Taiwan as well, saying that it's not a charity, they have to pay. The thing is, though, I think Trump is a bit smarter than he says he is, and I think he knows that Taiwan is paying. Taiwan gives a lot of computer chips to America that it needs to make its military gear, and in return, Taiwan is also buying a lot of American made military stuff, which gives America money and makes the country, money. So, yeah, Taiwan is paying for its security, and cutting off aid to Taiwan would there would be no reason to do it. It would endanger American manufacturing with all the chips going away, and it would endanger the lives of everyone on the island. So, I don't know what this will mean, but it is interesting to think about. And even worse for the people of America, he would have to find a way to replace all of that money from the military gear if he were to cut off aid. And my thinking is that would probably be through his tariffs, which are going to make prices at grocery stores for Americans a lot more expensive, considering how high the tariffs are going to be. So, yeah, at this moment, I don't know how this is going to affect the balance of power in Taiwan and in East Asia as a whole. Maybe the US will still pay attention to that area, because a lot of people on the right and left have been scared of China for a while. So my thinking is that Trump's foreign policy relating to China is going to be similar-ish to Biden's. So there shouldn't be too much change here. But thankfully, there is a silver lining to all of this. The silver lining being that if you are threatened by what has happened, and if you are sad by what has happened on Tuesday, I have seen countries go through dark periods like this, and I have lived in them. But I have seen that other countries have made it through periods like this, and if there's any country that I think can make it through a dark period like this, I think it is America. So, hopefully, to all of my American viewers, stay safe, and thanks for watching.